All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the 1908 replay. And the Athletics are a game out of first place, trying to get themselves up there with the Browns, then the Red Sox, and all the rest. They're going to be taking out the Senators here at home. Senators are over in last place, but don't let that fool you. They're not really that far out of it. And it'll be Jim Delahanty here for Washington to lead things off. He rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly ball over to left field, and Hartzell's there and has it. Hartzell, if you didn't watch the Topsy Hartzell special the other day, you missed one, so you better go back and check that one out. Otis Clymer up there now rolls a 66 for a 0. The second roll is a 46 for a 6. It's a double to right center field, and that'll bring up Bill Shipka. Shipka here with the runner on at second. And he rolls a 26 for a 27, and that's a ground ball over to the third baseman Collins, who throws to first for the out, and Clymer is stuck. Two away. Here's Clyde Milan. He rolls a 54 for a 45. It's a fly ball over to right field, and it's going to be Murphy who has that one for the out. We go to the bottom of the first. It'll be Jimmy Collins here to lead this off for the Athletics. He rolls a 45 for a 14 and gets on quickly with a walk, and now up next is Danny Murphy. Jimmy Collins is you have an 11. You don't have an 11 on your first column, so we won't do the hit and run. That happens sometimes when you try to make the lineup based on OPS. Murphy rolls a 32 for a 26, and that's going to be a ground ball double play. Just like that, it's a ground ball to Delahanty. Flips to McBride for one, on to Freeman for the double play. And that's why I was looking for that 11 to try to stay out of that. Rube Oldring now rolls a 12 for a 25, and that's a ground ball over to the second baseman. Delahanty throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the second inning. Jerry Freeman up there now rolls a 65 for a 35, and here's the little E roll. It's going to be a 46. That's out of the range. That's a little pop-up over to the third baseman Collins, who has that for the out, one away. And here's George McBride. McBride rolls a 55 for a 9, gets a single over shortstop, and that'll bring up Bob Ganley now with McBride on at first. You're going to do a little bunt. And the roll is a 43 for a 29, which means that it's a bunt over to the right side. And Davis has it, throws over to Nichols covering at second. And so the bunt doesn't go anywhere. And here comes Warner now with 2 outs and the runner on at first. So that didn't work. Warner rolls a 53 for a 21, changed to 17. That's going to be a single to right field. Sends Ganley over to third base. Warner is able to go to second base on that throw to third. That'll bring up Bert Keeley, the pitcher now for the Senators, top of the second, no score, and runners on at second and third. And he rolls a 14 for 43, and here's a little E roll. It's a 33 out of the range. That's a pop-up up to left field. Hartzell is there, and he has it for the out. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's going to be Eddie Collins. Eddie Collins up there rolls at 14 for 43. That's a fly ball over to left field. Ganley has it for the out, one away. Topsy Hartzell now. He rolls a 51 for a 9. That's going to be a pop-up over to the left side. It's Shipka who has that one for the second out, and it's Harry Davis who rolls a 65 for a 35. Another pop-up over to Shipka on the left side. We go to the top of the third. Still no score in this one. Just like yesterday's game, Jim Delahanty rolls a 31 for an 8, and that's a ground ball over to the shortstop Nichols, who throws to first for the out, one away. Otis Clymer now rolls a 15 for an 11. That's going to be a single and then a stolen base. You're used to it by now. Here comes Bill Shipka now with the runner on at second, and Shipka, who's hitting 302. We're going to go ahead and swing away with him. He rolls a 61 for a 13 and strikes out. 2 away, and it's Clyde Milan time. Clyde up there rolls a 21 for a 30. That's a fly ball over to Hartzell in left field for the out. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Still no score, but the Senators have been close here. And here is Simon Nichols. He rolls a 23 for a 32. Fly ball over to Clymer in right field for the first out, one away. Mike Powers up there rolls a 65 for a 35. There is a little E roll. It'll be a 24, just missing the range. That'll be a foul ball. Foul out over to Shipka at third. 2 away, and Jack Coombs is up there. He rolls a 31 for a 9. That's a pop-up again over the left side. Shipka's got it for the out, top of the fourth, and Shipka's been busy. Jerry Freeman leads us off for the Senators, rolls a 14 for a 43, and it's a fly ball to Hartzell in left for the first out. One away, and it's George McBride. McBride rolls a 52 for a 27. That is a ground ball over to the third baseman Collins, who throws to first for the out, 2 away. Bob Ganley now rolls a 64 for a 30. A fly ball over to Hartzell in left, and that'll be the third out. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Jimmy Collins up there now rolls a 35 for a 13. There's a strikeout number 1 for Bert Keeley. Here's Danny Murphy, and he rolls a 12 for a 24. It's a ground ball over to McBride. The shortstop has and throws to first for the out, 2 away. Rube Oldring now rolls a 45 for a 14, and that might be the first. Is that the first base runner for the Athletics, or did they have a walk before? I think they had a walk before. Eddie Collins now up there. He has the second walk of the game, and he rolls a 13 for a 14. That's the third walk of the game for the Athletics. I'll bring up Topsy Hartzell now, runners on at first and second. Hartzell, of course, a good player. We know that. He rolls a 53 for a 17. He's hit by the pitch. So Keeley, with a lot of those acts of self-destruction has loaded the bases, and here is Harry Davis, and Davis rolls a 42 for a 14, and Keeley has walked in a run. It is 1-0 for the Athletics, and here comes Simon Nichols. Nichols rolls a 51 for a 9, and that's a fly ball over to left field, and Gainley has that one for the out. We go to the top of the 5th. 1-0 for the Athletics as Keeley walked in the run in the bottom of the 4th. And as John Warner, who rolls a 14 for 43, the little lead roll is a 23, and that's going to be an error. That will be an error on the third baseman, Collins, and that brings up Keeley here with the runner on at first. He's going to bunt with all those 13s. You know what's going to happen. The roll's a 52 for a 27. He's got 2 strikes on him just like that. We'll just let him swing away here. 42 for a 13. That's a strikeout. 1 away, and here's Jim Delahanty, runner on at first base, but Warner is slow. Delahanty rolls a 64 for a 22. You talk about your unusual rules, and Jim is hit by the pitch, and Warner goes over to second base. That'll bring up Otis Clymer with runners on at first and second. It's time to bunt. And, of course, he rolls a 66 for a 0 and a 42 for a 6. So I feel kind of gypped. That would have scored 2. Instead, it's a bunt over to the left side. Jimmy Collins has it and throws over to Eddie Collins covering at first for the second out. And here is Bill Shipka. So, so much for that strategy, huh? Bill Shipka up there now. He rolls a 31 for 14, and he will take his base. And now the Athletics take their turn loading the bases with bases on balls and men hit by pitches. Clyde Milan rolls a 32 for a 26, and that is a ground ball over to second base. Collins has it, and he will flip over to Nichols for the force out. We go to the top of the, or bottom rather, of the 5th inning. It's Mike Powers up there. He rolls a 36 for a 33. That's a little pop-up over to Delahanty for the first out. 1 away, and it's Jack Coombs. Coombs rolls a 14 for a 43. It's a fly ball over to Gainley and left for the second out. Jimmy Collins now rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and it's going to be Jerry Freeman. He rolls a 55 for an 8. That's a ground ball over to Nichols, the shortstop, who makes the play and throws to first for the out. 1 away. George McBride now rolls a 64 for a 13 and strikes out. There's 2 gone, and here's Bob Gainley. And he rolls a 64, for a 30, and that's a fly ball over to Hartzell in left field, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. These 1908 games go quick because there's not much hitting. And Danny Murphy up there rolls a 46 for a 29. That's a ground ball over to Keeley, the first baseman, who throws to first for the out. 1 away. Rube Oldring rolls a 41 for a 28. That's a ground ball over to McBride at short. Throws to first for the out. 2 away, and it's Eddie Collins' time. And Collins rolls a 66 for a 0. That's going to be the end of the no-hitter. And now a 64 for a 6. There's a chance this might be a home run, though, but the next roll is a 46, so it doesn't quite happen. Double for Eddie Collins. That ruins the masterpiece that that Bert Keeley was losing. Runner on second base, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Topsy Hartzell rolls a 14 for a 43. That's a fly ball over to center field. Milan has it for the out. Go to the top of the 7th, and we can all breathe a little bit easier. John Warner now. He rolls a 34 for a 44. There is a little E-roll. It's a 56 out of the range. That's a fly ball over to Oldring in center field for the first out. And here comes Bert Keeley. He rolls a 55 for a 36. Change to a 40. That's going to be a foul, but to W base on balls. Coombs has that W, which means that Keeley walks. And Keeley is a fast base runner, but he does not have that 11 that we really like, so we're not going to do a hit and run with him. Jim Delahanty up there now. Rolls a 42 for a 9. That's a single that'll beat out an infield hit, and that allows Keeley to go up to second. Unfortunately, it's one of the drawbacks of these boards. I can't tell you who the ball was hit to, but at least we kind of generally know what happens, and that brings up Otis Clymer. Clymer bunted last time up, and we probably should have let him swing away because he rolled a 66. This time he rolls a 21 for a 30, so we should have bunted this time. You tell me when I should bunt and when I shouldn't. Hartzell makes that play over in left field. It's a fly ball, and there's 2 away here for Bill Shipka. Shipka 0 for 2 today. Make that 0 for 3 probably. He rolls a 65 for a 35. Oh, no, I forgot about this. Because of the W, that's going to be a walk by Coombs. So Coombs ends up walking Shipka, and that will load the bases for Clyde Milan. Still 1-0 Athletics. And the roll's a 44 for an 8, and that's going to be a strikeout for Coombs, and we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and here comes Harry Davis. Still a 1-0 game. Davis rolls a 65 for a 35. That's a foul out behind third base. It's going to be Shipka who grabs that for the out. 1 away. Simon Nichols now rolls a 62 for a 12. That's a little ground ball down to Freeman. He does it himself to the bag. 2 away at first. Mike Powers now rolls a 54 for a 45. It's a fly ball over to right field. Otis Clymer has that for the out. When we go to the top of the 8th inning, it's Jerry Freeman. Washington's left 10 runners on base. Freeman rolls a 12 for a 24. Little E rolls a 43 out of the range. That's just a ground ball over to Nichols, the shortstop, who throws to first for the out, one away. And it's George McBride, who rolls a 25 for a 10. There's another single for the Senators, hit number 6 of the game, and that'll bring up Bob Gainley. And I don't remember McBride's card off the top of my head. Yeah, he doesn't have any of those 11s, and that's what stops me from hitting and running because of what happens when you get a 14. Gainley now rolls a 25 for a 10. And that's going to be a single. McBride goes to third, and then Gainley will steal a base on his way, and that brings up John Warner, the catcher. The infield will come in. Now we have to think about what it is that we want to do. Do we want to bunt with Warner? He's hitting 200. He does have a good on-base percentage in real life. 286 is like average for what the league is doing right now. Keeley's up next. There's one out. I'm not going to pinch hit for Keeley. I think we have to swing away with Warner instead of bunting with him because I don't really want to bunt to get to the picture in this situation. And I worry about McBride being thrown out at the plate because he's not fast. So we're going to go ahead and swing away with Warner. And he rolls a 62 for a 12, and that's going to be a strikeout. So at least nothing bad happens. 2 away, and here comes Bert Keeley, who's only given up a single hit. He's going to stay in this ballgame. Of course, he's hitting 0. He has been on base once, and he rolls a 54 for a 45. There's a little E. And the rolls a 45 out of the range. That's a fly ball over to right field, and it's easy for Murphy, and he's got that one for the third out. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jack Coombs comes up there now. Coombs rolls a 23 for a 32. It's a fly ball to right field. Clymer has it for the out, one away. Jimmy Collins now rolls a 25 for a 9. That's a single, hit number 2 for the Athletics, and that'll bring up Danny Murphy. With Collins on at first, I think we looked at Collins before. He, again, doesn't have an 11. We want to be very, very conservative, and Murphy rolls a 13 for a 14. He takes his base. I'll bring up Rube Oldring, who's hitting, 246. We're going to bunt, try to get to Eddie Collins with one out here. It's a good time to bunt. And the roll is a 41 for a 28. It's a good bunt over the left side to Shipka, who throws to first for the out. 2 away, and here's Eddie Collins. All right, let's see what Eddie can do. And he rolls a 25 for an 8. That's a base hit. That'll score both runners. They'll score 1, I'm sorry, because the second runner is slow. And so the second runner thrown out, Clymer to Warner for the out. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and it's a 2-0 lead now for the Athletics. And here comes Jim Delahanty. Senators have out-hit them. They have been out-walked, and yet they can't score. Jack Coombs pitches Delahanty, and he rolls a 45 for a 14 with the S. So Delahanty steals second after the walk, and that'll bring up Otis Clymer. Clymer hitting 353. He's 2 for 3 today, having a good game. We'll swing away with him, and he rolls a 41 for a 28. That's a ground ball over to the shortstop Nichols, who throws to first for the out, one away. Delahanty, of course, moving to third base. Shipka up there now. The infield will be back. Shipka rolls a 63 for a 30. That's a fly ball over the left field, and Hartzell has it for the out. That will score the run. 2 away, but nobody on base, and here's Clyde Milan. He rolls a 43 for a 29. That is a comebacker over to pitcher Coombs, who throws over to first base for the out. So the Athletics have won this one, and they are up in the mix for the lead in the American League. The Senators go to 6-9, Athletics to 9-7, and that's the end of this game. Keeley almost threw a no-hitter and almost lost it at the same time. Can you imagine that? And we'll have more tomorrow for you. See you then. Bye-bye.